Three defenders into our attack. Energy through the roof now. Loads popped up.
Can you move the camera? They're asking for camera 2. They can't hear you, just nod the camera. Bottom right, on the right hand side, there's 2 levers that will unlock the head. No, on the right hand side. Can you unlock the head, Sam? Is the head locked? Other side, at the front.
Welcome back to the UOG SU coverage of Rugby Varsity. Earlier on the day we had the women's game, which ended up with Gloucester winning emphatically 49-31. We have got University of Gloucestershire versus University of Worcester men coming up for you now. Both teams are warming up out on the pitch. I'm joined by my commentary partner, Jules Reimer. Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I wondered what you were going to say for a minute. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It promises to be a good game, and if it's as fast-paced as the last one, then we're in for a treat. 2 really strong sides by the looks of things.
Indeed, we've come out of very poor conditions with the hail and torrential rain we had earlier, and now we've got some lovely bright sunshine at Plot Court, and we are expecting another exciting game. So far today, as I said, we've had the women's rugby 49-31 to Gloucester. Elsewhere, we've had, to start off the day, American football, which was won by Worcester, 30 points to 19. Women's football won 4 goals to 2. And men's hockey came out winners 5-1 for Gloucester. And then in the tennis, that was another win for Gloucester. And currently, women's hockey is a draw, and men's football is currently drawing as well, leaving the varsity overall score at 4-3 to Worcester. This year's varsity has a theme of thank you NHS and key workers, for we are very lucky to be here due to all their hard work they've put in over the past year over COVID. It's been 13 months without university and rugby, and we are delighted to have it back, aren't we, Jules?
Yeah, really, really good to have it back, and good to be out here, being able to see some of the boys play. You know, we've been training for 6 weeks now, and you know, it's been really high intensity stuff, and I know that it's been difficult to get back into the swing of things, but I promise you, on a game like today with the Worcester as the opposition, everyone will be flying out of the blocks.
Indeed, I'm expecting a heated game, certainly. So we'll just run you through the teams, and for the hosts, UOG, front row, we have number 1, Ewan Manley, who will captain the side today. Number 2, Noah Jenkins, and then Jacob White at tight head. In the second row, we've got Ben Webb, partnered by Josh Aston. In the back row, Jardale Cooper at 6, Adam Turner at 7, number 8, Will Clark. To the backs now, and Josh Pelt starts at 9, with Joe Langbridge partnering him in the backs, half-backs. And on the wings, we've got Billy Davis and George Sanderson, respectively. And then the centres we have Lucas Town, Cameron Fogden, and then at full-back, Dan Tyler. The bench reads Callum River-Coles, Will Gowdy, Zane Felix, James Kingscott, Harry Royal, Sam Rhymes, Adam Coles and Jack Greenway.
And for Worcester, starting off at loosehead, the captain, Kieran Haynes, partnered by Scott Williams at tight head, Jack Dubany at number 2, and making the pairing in the second rows, Nathan Fisher and Phil Leader. The back row, Paddy Smallman, Evan Davies and Chris Gill. Moving into the backs at 9, we've got Chris Moore with 10, Jack Davies, he's also the vice-captain. At 11, Jack Whiteford. Making up the centres, we've got Tom Cubitt and Reese Edwards at 13. 14, Reese Tench, and at 15 is Matt Mitchell. Making up the substitute bench for Worcester, we've got Tajab Hussein, Adam Harris, Lewis Murdoch, Matt Cowley, Adam Haffer, Cameron Bond, Joe Allen and Dan Androulikos. 2 really strong sides, Charlie.
Indeed, 2 really strong sides. Worcester look quite a big side, so that'll be interesting to see how they fare on a hot day with these new rules that we've got, as we may have mentioned earlier. But for those that weren't with us on the stream for the women's game, we are playing new RFU rules that have been permitted pre-May 17th due to COVID-19 to reduce the amount of contact during the game. So the game will remain at 80 minutes, but there will be no scrums or mauls, and there will be a free kick for the side instead, as well as rolling subs. So how did that affect the game earlier, Jules?
I actually think that in the women's game it was dealt with really well. It didn't seem like it was something that was causing major issues. Having said that, the taps and goes, I mean, that seemed to be the way the game was played. That's where both teams found all their joy. I mean, I can safely say that nearly all of the tries scored were from a tap and go. You know, purely just based the efficiency of it was just so great in that game. I'd expect nothing less in this one.
Definitely, and some fast-paced stuff to come. So just to run you through, the last time that these sides faced each other was in 2019 with a 41-30 win for Gloucester. That was their 4th win in a row, following 32-7 in 2018, and 2017 was 39-11. So they're going for 5 in a row, and some task and would be some feat if they can pull it off.
Yeah, well, 5 in a row would be a massive achievement for Gloucester if they could pull that off. Obviously, we'll see what happens, but I don't doubt that the boys won't pull through.
So the sides have just gone into the changing rooms for their final preparations, and kick-off is around 5 minutes away. So if you need anything, go get yourself a cup of tea or maybe a beer on this nice hot summer's day, and get ready for a feast of rugby with University of Gloucestershire versus University of Worcester.
You know all the lingo. Good. When you're having conversations, you always need a can. It gets worse when you're on the cameras. You have the director, PA, engineering, commentary. So you have 14 people.
Just with no BPA step down for 1 second.
If there's a line out, I'm the reckon only here, which would happen. The ball just goes really nice. Get forward to pick up the ball. And as he picks up the ball, he's doing that. Okay, and almost like he's looking up the ball.
Apologies for those pictures on screen. The women's hockey has not yet finished. We thought it was a win for Gloucester, but it is still 4-3 to Worcester. Just to keep you in the loop.
Conversion.
Basically, anything happens, we've got it covered. So if you do need a shout or anything,
So looking through the lineups once again. For you, Jules, who are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, Charlie, I'm really looking forward to seeing that University of Gloucester back line. You know, players in there like George Sanderson, Adam Coles, they've, you know, Lucas Town, they've all got, you know, they're all sizable boys in that back line looking to hit hard lines, and quite frankly, it's going to be a real challenge for Worcester to maintain them.
So the Gloucester team are out onto the field. Here come Worcester. Last few motivational words.
You know, the game hasn't even kicked off yet, Charlie, and you can just feel the excitement around the place. You know, everyone's really, really up for this and can't wait for things to get started.
You can do it now. Do it on the
So before kick-off, we will be taking a moment of reflection to remember all the work done over the past year by our key workers and NHS workers to make this possible, to be able to play rugby once again. We will also be taking the knee to fight against racial discrimination and discrimination of any form.
Captain, please. Two captains.
And here we go.
Skip.
Captains are being called in.
Nature of COVID, we can do a rock, paper, scissors. I thought that'd be quite topical. Okay, so 1-3, rock, paper, scissors.
The first game of the day is rock, paper, scissors between the captains.
I've never seen that before, Charlie. I don't know about you, but interesting start to the...
Indeed.
Interesting start.
COVID precautions taking over.
Exactly, yeah. Everything's safe these days.
Chris, you got me?
Coin flip's a bit too risky nowadays. Right, so
Ideal.
minutes away now, seconds away from Varsity Men's Rugby 2021. Gloucester to kick off from right to left.
Okay, time on.
And Joe Langbridge gets us underway, puts the ball high into the plot court sky, and that's a great take from the Worcester winger under pressure from George Sanderson there.
Okay, use it, please. Out we come. And again, please, 9.
George Sanderson gathers the clearing kick from Worcester. They've cleared up to halfway. They'll be happy with that.
First man.
And that's a penalty to Worcester. That is the start that they will have wanted.
Yeah, a really strong start for Worcester, not what Gloucester would have wanted. Sanderson being put under a lot of pressure there from that kick, so yeah, strong start from Worcester.
Director of Rugby for University of Gloucestershire, Chris Downs, barking on orders.
Blue line's yours.
It would be his 5th varsity victory after 8 years with the club,
5 unless they say
if they were to pull it off today.
Gloucester use the blue line.
First line out of the game coming up.
Be really good here for Gloucester. They could disrupt this. Really positive bounce back if they could turn over this ball from this line out.
Clean take off the top. That's a big hit there from Will Clark in the midfield. Some big hits coming in, then again from Josh Aston.
Yeah, we're only a couple of minutes into the game. That's a massive hit from the University of Gloucester. Great work from Will Clark in the middle there.
Joe Langridge tries to intercept, doesn't quite get there. Billy Davis brings him down. Oh. Was to go quickly, but the referee doesn't like it and pulls it back.
Well, you can sense we're only 2 minutes in, just the ferocity of this game. Huge hits being put in from Gloss. It's really good to see. Boys are really up for this.
That's exactly what Gloucester needed in that defensive set. Yes, the penalty is not what they wanted, but Worcester got the upper hand with the box kick and the chase, and so a good defensive set was what was needed. So a first trip to the 22 for either side. Not straight at the line out. Gloucester have got away with it.
Some early handcuffs between the two teams. Everyone told to calm down.
Tempers flaring, and rightfully so with this rivalry.
Okay, 2 men up, 3 compete, never straight, outside man. Free kick. You're inside 22. You're inside 22.
Joe Langridge will hope to get some distance on this clearance. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, well, that's really good for Gloss, disrupting the line out, causing the turnover and ultimately the penalty. That's really nice to see from the University of Gloucestershire. A really positive start to the game for both sides.
Same again, Joel. Same again. Same again, Joel. Go back.
That is not straight, and Jacob White picks it up at the back. I think they're very unlucky to have advantage given against them there, given that that line out was nowhere near straight. So we were sat in line with it, and it was almost back on the 22.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't really understand the referee's decision there, but you know, so be it. With respect to the referee, that's one of the founding sort of rules of rugby, and we respect the referee's decision. But you know, I think he's potentially got that one wrong. Another big tackle going in there from Will Clark. He's been absolutely everywhere in these opening 5 minutes.
2 steps away.
Good work from Jardel Cooper there to get out the line and hit Paddy Smallman quickly. Jardel Cooper in there again. Very abrasive tackle.
Okay, easy now. All backwards, plan. Easy. Sorry.
Up to the Gloucester 10-metre line. Worcester look to go wide. Captain Kieran Haynes taking the ball into contact. He is also club chairman, so he's got a lot on his plate. And And that is great work at the breakdown for Gloucester. Cameron Fogden with the turnover, getting his hands in there.
Yeah, exactly what Gloss needed, disrupt the play. You know, Worcester weren't really going anywhere. Jardel Cooper and Will Clark doing absolutely everything in defence, and then eventually Cameron Fogden just forcing a mistake from Worcester. Really positive stuff from Gloss.
And Joe Langbridge will look to hit touch again here. And he hits touch. What are your thoughts on the frosted tips mullet? It's an interesting approach from Joe Langbridge, but he's really taking the stage, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I think just embrace it, really. He's gone for it. It's a brave move, but I think we all appreciate a good mullet if you play rugby. I think it suits him. Yeah, it's good, strong look. Yeah, he is. I wonder whether he'll keep it.
It's a good first line out. Ben Webb takes it. Josh put under some struggle there. Gloucester needs to look after this.
Gloucester failed at the breakdown, doing
John
really well.
Cooper making a half break there, making good yards. Played out the back. Here goes Lucas Town. Almost managed to wriggle through there.
Easy.
Joe Langbridge looking to take the ball to the line. Good hit from the Worcester defenders. No release from Worcester.
No release in the tackle.
Opportunity to put a kick into the corner, or if he's got it in his range, maybe go for the post.
Yeah, really good carrying there from Lucas Town and Josh Ashton, respectively. Really good to see that. As Gloss try and put a stamp on this game early on.
And that is a decent kick in just inside the Worcester 22. That ball is lost forever, I would say, in the houses next door to Plot Court.
It's a common problem that we've got down here. You cannot keep hang on to any of these balls straight into people's back gardens. But yeah, a positive start for Gloucester. They'll be looking to do something off this line out.
Okay, here we go. It's all back.
And that is a big turnover for Worcester. Jacob White getting slightly isolated at the back of the line out.
Yeah, well, Jacob White doing really well there to hang on to the ball, but unfortunately just caught rolling too many times. We saw it in the women's game earlier on today. It's something that you just cannot get away with anymore.
Timings. So if there's a player over the ball, you're taking an extra.
That's another ball gone.
To buy time, I can't allow that, okay? Not new. Blue, Gloucester, blue line, please. Sorry? Depending on circumstances, yeah. If there's a guy over the ball, then no. Guys, here we come.
With no mauls allowed at these lineouts, they are a key component into who is having clean ball and whether the opposition can disrupt it. And we've seen a couple of times that we've had a couple of loose throws so far, but you'd put that down to kind of early match nerves, wouldn't you?
Take it back here. Hold in front, please. Oh.
Dan Tyler sweeping up at the back. He's got an opportunity to stretch his legs. Ball just spills loose, but referees deemed it's gone backwards. And it's gone forwards, apparently.
He's changed his mind. I think he may have just been looking to see where that went, where the Worcester recovered the ball, but stayed within Gloucester hands, who's brought back for the penalty.
Worcester are definitely looking to put a lot of pressure on Joe Langbridge, getting up out of the line to him, and it's forcing him to kick out. It's giving him less options, so they're defending him well at the moment.
Really strong hit there from Noah Jenkins.
Jack Davis distributes out wide for Worcester.
It's a free kick. You have the free kick anyway.
and that is a knock on down the left wing for Worcester, so that will be free kick. It's an interesting kind of idea how you use these free kicks, isn't it? That you obviously got the option, you can maybe use the sun and that shine down very hard on plot court, or you can take the quick tap, and it looks like they're going for the sun option.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting tactic. We're seeing it more and more often in professional rugby. If it works, it's a great idea.
Okay, yes please.
More massive hits coming in from the Gloucester defence. They really have been superb so far. Worcester have got very little.
And they've turned the ball over with the hit. Loose ball, Jardel Cooper works hard.
Okay, lost ball.
No advantage coming with Jardel Cooper knocking on.
Thank you. Lost ball on the floor, come out for the first one, it's a free kick.
Well, we've just gone past the 10-minute mark, Charlie. I mean, on the balance of things, it seems like a fairly even game. I mean, how do you think it's been going?
I think both sides of the defence so far has been very good. Very similar in that there's only been a couple of maybe half breaks, but there's nothing been dead cut. They're both fronting up. There's both providing some big bruising hits, and so it offers a very interesting contest. So how they'll try and break each other down will be interesting to see.
Zane Felix and Sam Rhymes doing great work there as the Water Boys.
Jacob White with the carry. Gloucester looking for quick ball. Cameron Fogden for the drop goal. Just pulled it to the left. A very creative idea from Gloucester to try and utilise those free kicks instead of a penalty. We'll have a go at goal.
Yeah, why not? I mean, take your chance while you've got one. If you're not going anywhere, you might as well see what you can do from the boot.
Okay, timer runs, please.
Be interested to see what Worcester go for here. Will they go for distance, or will they try and recover the ball? Well, they've elected for distance. That's in the hands of George Henderson. You don't want to see him open up.
And Billy Davis is chasing frantically down the left wing. That could be a little too much on that kick, and it is from George Henderson trying to hit that corner. It's the risk you take if you're aiming right for that 5-metre line.
Well, it's a nice idea. I mean, we know the pace of Billy Davies. He can get onto anything, and unfortunately for Sanderson this time, the ball just goes over the dead ball line.
Because it's touching goal, you can have a 22. I assume you want the free kick up it. Thank you.
Worcester elect high, much like Gloucester did a few minutes ago.
All backwards, play on.
And they have regathered. Here goes Jardel with the offload to Billy Davies. Bundled into touch there, Davies. So that will be a Worcester line out on the edge of the Gloucester 22. A very good position to be in, but as we said earlier, both defences have been getting up and being confrontational so far.
Yeah, well, it's been ferocious in defence so far, and hopefully Gloucester will be able to disrupt this once again.
Let's go then. Yeah, middle. Yeah, up the hold pressure.
Leave it.
Ewan Manley getting a bit into the heat of the battle.
Yeah, well, cheeky move from Ewan Manley, just taking the 9 slightly out of position. Bit of sportsmanship.
That's great work from Ewan Manley there. First to disrupt that line out and then to force into touch the Worcester winger, Reece Tench.
I think the referee there just penalising Gloucester for a little bit of chit-chat afterwards. Yeah, something you really can't get away with in rugby.
Just leave your hands, push in the face.
Reece Tench kicks for the corner.
Skip. If someone pushes someone in the face, I've got to deal with it, okay? On the floor, just push him. Leave your hands to yourself. Just step.
This is the best opportunity either side's had so far, the deepest they've got into either 22. And Jardel Cooper does excellently there to disrupt. And Billy Davis gathers. Josh Putt's got some management to do here. Back to Joe Langbridge, who clears. There isn't a lot of distance on that kick, but it will be some relief somewhat.
Yeah, definitely. Gloucester needed to deal with that one really quickly, and they did that. Great line-out disruption, and then Josh Putt doing really well to sort of calm things down off the base of the ruck. Langbridge doing really well to clear the kick.
Use it.
Ewan Manley there being penalised for not rolling away.
Josh Putt stepping up there to take down Nathan Fisher.
He made absolutely no effort to
Another penalty, and that is a yellow card for Ben Webb. That is exactly not what Gloucester needed early on in this game.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Gloucester there, but unfortunately the referee's got to do what he's got to do in that situation, and yeah, it's a big loss early on to go down to 14.
Offside, off feet. In this area, we need to cut it, okay? Okay, how we come?
Let's swing it wide.
Really good covering tackle there.
Reese Edwards with him. Sorry, Jules. Reese Edwards goes within metres and it's recycled, but held up by Gloucester. That's good cover defence.
Yeah, well, I think it's Ewan Manley, the captain, once again, doing absolutely everything he can on the floor. Really impressive so far in the opening 20 minutes.
I think the key is that Gloucester just keep their discipline here.
Well, it's pretty clear what Worcester want to do here.
Phil Leader taking it in hard. It's Chris Gill taking it up to the line. And they have scored. Worcester open the scoring.
Yeah, well, you felt like it was coming. A series of phases from Worcester, and as good as Gloucester have been in defence, ferocious tackling, there were just too many gaps, and Worcester have been able to go over.
Paddy Smallman is the scorer of the try. He did well to evade the defender with a good step and then just dive over. That is the start that Worcester will have wanted, coming away to the mighty Plot Court.
The mighty Plot Court. It is mighty, especially when the sun's basking the way it is. We're very lucky to be out here in conditions like these.
Yeah. We'll actually take a water break at this point.
Reece Tench adds the extras. That is 20 minutes in, and it's 7-0 to Worcester.
Yeah, well, actually, I think quite a strong start from both sides. Gloss sort of ferocious in defence, Worcester with a bit more ball in hand, but neither side really being able to capitalise apart from that try that Worcester have just scored. So it's very evenly balanced at the moment, and yeah, tough to call, unlike sort of the other game that we had earlier on, which was a bit more of a dominating display.
Just watch our entry points, okay? Starting to get
It'll definitely be a big part how each team uses their territory and capitalises on it. As you saw there, that's the furthest other team's got the field, and Worcester have capitalised.
If you're rolling and there's no one there, then
Gloucester haven't quite got that close to the line, but they've kind of had a couple of errors that have crept into their game in their 22. So it'll be interesting to see how they regroup after this water break. Worcester's coach delivering some stern words there. So here's a run through of the try. Just gets it down despite Noah Jenkins trying to get underneath it. Good finish.
Yeah, strong finish, and yeah, it was clear to see what Worcester's intentions were going through the phases. Weren't really looking to put the ball out wide. Clearly back their forward pack to do the job, and they did get the job done in that case. Gloucester will be looking for a strong chase off this restart and to bounce back really quickly, and we know they can.
Okay, come on.
George Sanderson tries to chase down that kick-off with intent, but just misses out on the tackle. And another clearance from Worcester up to their own 10-metre line, which is a good result for them.
So again. Line is the middle, okay? So just step off. Line's the middle, okay?
Gloss will be looking for this line to go a bit more smoothly than some of their previous. The wind is not helping.
Let's go, remember to set.
Adam Turner takes that well at the top of the line out. And looking to kick to the corner, Joe Langbridge looking to pin back. But that's just gone too deep into the dead ball area, and that will be a 22.
Well, that's twice now that Gloucester have attempted that sort of crossfield kick, and both times sort of very narrowly hasn't paid off.
Make sure your players are behind.
It'll be interesting to see whether they keep sticking with it or whether they decide to change things up a little bit.
Sanderson under the ball once again. Loose offload, but Cam Fogden will sweep up, and he looks to kick in behind. And that is a great kick in behind Jack Whiteford for Worcester, and that will be a Worcester throw just inside their own 22.
Yeah, Cameron Fogden doing really well to recover that ball, kick it out, make sure he bounces into touch beforehand. But yeah, it's really good work from Cameron Fogden. Once again, Gloucester making territory and looking to capitalise on their opposition 22.
Some great skill to be able to just sweep up that ball, get your head up, and then just knock it in behind, perfectly weighted like he did. So yeah, he's definitely a player that will Gloucester will look to get on the ball today.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing as a second row I wouldn't back myself to make that kick, but someone like Foggy,
I'd back you, mate, don't worry.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that, Charlie.
Worcester will look to clear their lines as Chris Moore looks to clear from the base.
Use it 9.
And almost another lost ball. That's gone not very far, just outside the 22, so it's a good attacking position if Gloucester can get their line out right once again. Yeah, it's a really positive result for Gloucester in that situation. Worcester just not really being able to get that kick quite on the distance that they would have wanted. So hopefully we'll see whether Gloucester can capitalise on this situation. That's well taken from Jardel Cooper there.
Thank you.
Let's go out the back. Long pass out wide. Billy Davis, but doesn't quite come off. And Reece Tench clears up. It's a high tackle from Billy Davis and penalised by the referee.
11 high tackle.
We saw earlier on in the day when University of Gloucestershire women beat University of Worcester women 49-31, that penalties really came into a big part of the game and they stopped any momentum either side was getting. And I think that's going to be a big part of this game. If Gloucester keep giving away penalties, then they're not going to be able to get the ball in hand and do what they want to do.
Yeah, I think the really interesting sort of distinguishing, sort of really interesting thing, the difference in this game is the amount of kicking that's being done. We saw in the women's match earlier on a lot of tap and goes. There's a far more variety in this match. Noah Jenkins doing really well there to disrupt the ball on the floor.
I'm not really sure how Nathan Fisher thought he was going to get away with that, but it's a penalty to Gloucester for a hand in the bottom of the ruck, not rolling away. Cameron Fogden kicks for the corner. And they're sat just outside the 22 once again. You would think that these kicks to touch need to go a bit deeper if they can, because they're, as we saw earlier, it's only once you get into that 5-metre channel that you are looking on to score.
Yeah, well, it'd be really nice if these kicks were close and we can get some of these boys in Gloss backline like Lucas Town, Cameron Fogden and George Sanderson to all get on the ball. I'll see Will Clark lurking in the back line as well. So it'd be really nice to get these boys on the ball.
That's a free kick to Gloucester. Worcester were lifting Phil Leader up early.
I normally play on, but it was never straight, so I have to look at the first defence.
So it's a free kick, no option to go for posts. They'll look to use this big pack. Jacob White, big run there, bounces off Leader, who's a big physical force himself. Out the back, Fogden whips it to Lucas Town, who's brought down well by Tom Cubitt.
Okay, tackle. Advantage.
Joe Langridge absolutely swallowed up there from the Worcester loose head.
It's already been passed.
Captain Kieran Haynes being penalised there for a late tackle on Joe Langbridge.
I feel like it's the kind of thing that we can expect to see a lot more of. You know, there's a lot of boys who are rolled up, late tackles. You know, be very easy for people to get drawn in, and that's exactly what happened there.
And Lucas Town is calling for the tee.
A sensible decision there from Lucas Town. I think your Gloss was sort of struggling to have any real joy from the line out, so back yourself and go for points and get something on the score.
Your time's running on the kick, okay?
So first kick of the match for Gloucester here. Lucas Town stepping up from about 40 yards out on a slight angle. And that is a brilliant kick from Lucas Town. That's 3 points on the board. Gloucester have opened their account, and they'll be pleased to have some points out of what's not been a totally dominant performance in the Worcester half.
Yeah, well, there'll be massive positive reinforcement for Gloss to have some points on the board now, something to build off. Let's just see whether they can build on that further.
I'm ready.
There we go. Now go on your bike. Well done.
Always in. Hold, don't move forward.
That's a great clearance from Cameron Fogden. All the way up. That's an absolutely excellent kick.
It's the kind of skill that a player like Cameron Fogden can bring to the game. Obviously, he's looking to move out to Australia soon, so we're trying to put the skills on show today.
Okay, 9.
That is an excellent hit from George Sanderson.
No advantage, first one.
Yeah, massive hit from George Sanderson, disrupting the ball.
Yellow's back on, okay?
Something you really love to see.
Absolutely phenomenal hit. Look at that, just timed it to perfection. He's not going to run down his channel again, is he?
Okay.
Those are the kind of moments that can turn the momentum of this game, and I think especially in and around the Worcester 22, that will be key today if they can get in those positions, but it's just about using those opportunities. That will be key, and so far Worcester have used theirs and Gloucester haven't, so they'll be looking to change that now.
Gloucester looking to go quickly. No, Jenkins carrying the ball in. Jardel Cooper there getting over the ball. Slightly loose, but now in the hands of the Gloucester back line.
Thank you.
I have to say the Worcester defence doing really well to cope with what Gloucester throwing at them at the moment. Really organised.
Even.
That is a good option out wide from Joe Langbridge. Bounce hasn't quite gone his way, but it's been spilt. Backwards, says the referee. And off goes Matt Mitchell.
Scrum advantage, knock on off 6. Okay, 9 advantage over from the knock on.
Reece Tench takes into contact. He's been through quite a fair bit of work already. It's knocked on by Worcester.
Okay, easy. You've got the scrum advantage. If you don't want to use it, you have to.
Ben Webb telling Kieran Haynes to get back on side.
And Ben Webb back on the field now after his early yellow card.
It's only a free kick.
That's Jacob White down on the floor. Looks like his calf that he's struggling with there. Club captain Tommy Jermin helping him. So the teams gather in a huddle. Reece Tench also down, but I think he's just recovered.
Yeah, both sides.
Moving a bit gingerly, but I think he's going to carry on. Chris Downs and Ben Smith will just be reassuring his Gloucester side, making sure they stick to their systems, trusting what they're trying to do. I'm sure that they will have some success in it at some point. It's just about sticking at it, and it's that ability to adapt if they are struggling to make it work.
Yeah, well, we saw Callum River-Coles, the replacement tight head, warming up there, and he's no small man. They won't miss Jacob White's carrying force with River-Coles coming on. But it looks like he's okay to continue for the moment. Straight away enforcing his power back into the game. Clearly there's nothing wrong with him.
One of the more experienced members of this Gloucester side. He's a third-year student. This is his second varsity game. Part of that side that won promotion to Western Premier 1A back in 2019. Yes, sorry. It's been a long time. All these perception of time is totally gone.
You can fill your own gap. Nice and quick, please. Gloucester, let's go.
Another good opportunity here.
Play.
Webb taking the line out. Will Clark getting over the gain line.
A really smooth play from the University of Gloucestershire. Nice ball back inside. Sanderson trying to break through.
Langbridge going close. That's a fantastic offload. And Cameron Falcon has looked to finish that off.
Well, it's brilliant work from Billy Davis, the number 11. Initially, great work from Joe Langridge as well to get the offload away, but that offload to Cameron Fogden is superb.
Yeah, it's fine. If you want time off, you can have time off.
I think the referee has deemed that he was in touch, unfortunately. That would have been a fantastic bit of skill.
No worry.
So unfortunately for you Gloucester fans, that 8-7 scoreline isn't quite right. The score still remains 3-7.
Ice, get her back in the line, hit. Yeah, ice and hit, ice and hit.
It's an interpretation. Okay. Yeah, time on. Come on. Good contest and backwards by Worcester.
Disrupted line out there, but Worcester still managed to retain the ball. That was a fantastic opportunity. They'll be hoping that they'll be able to get Billy Davis and Cameron Fogden into similar positions as soon as possible. That is a massive hit from Will Clark, but he looks slightly injured.
Stay down.
Yeah, Will Clark there looks in some discomfort. I mean, he flies himself into challenges. There's no surprise he's come off with a knock. Billy Davis fumbles the ball there, unfortunately.
All right, go, Vanty. 5 minutes. Time off. Yeah, we can have time off, don't worry. Waiting for that. Time's still off. We've got to wait for him as well.
Tench will look to clear.
It's just an off time. Time's still off. Calm down.
No, he won't, because it's a free kick.
Just shy of the
Here we go. Here of Will Clark's unfortunate incident. Just looks like he gets his right arm caught in the wrong position.
Massive hit. It's the kind of defence they'll be looking for, but he's carrying on. Made of tough stuff.
Daniel Tyler doing really well there under the ball. Great clearing kick.
Here comes Matt Mitchell.
Sorry, sir.
Clearing at the back.
Okay, tackle release. Good work. Use.
And that is a knock on from Phil Leader. Just a few mistakes creeping in now, aren't there?
Okay, when you're ready. Free kick.
But those mistakes are expected, of course, as we have been out of the game for 13 months, and Jardel Cooper looks like he's not been out for a second. That was an unbelievable carry.
Yeah, well, it's classic Jardel Cooper. Massive carry as it's fizzed across to Lucas Town. That pass reminded me of Owen Farrell against Ireland in 2018. That fantastic flat pass he played to Johnny May.
On an advantage over.
Good kick in behind. There's lots of space there. He'll have time to gather. Good work from Noah Jenkins there to get across. He's a very hard-working hooker.
Okay, go easy.
Puts in quite the shift.
Yeah, well, I think Noah Jenkins, he's one of those players, he's part of the new breed of hooker that we see these days within the game, sort of fast on their feet, good hands, hard-working, great fitness levels.
There's a break to Reece Tench. Tench inside. And that is a second try to Worcester. Matt Mitchell with the score. Great support line to receive the inside ball, and that is a key score just before half-time for Worcester.
Yeah, well, it was great play out wide from Worcester, and then Mitchell just had the speed to get away from Sanderson, nearly recovering with that tap tackle, but Mitchell just doing enough to get over the line.
Yes. Yes. 3 minutes.
Got Dan Tyler down on the try line line.
Once you're ready, time will go back
Injured
on.
in those efforts to make a last gasp tackle.
3 minutes.
But that was a great break down the outside from Reece Tench.
3 minutes.
Really good break from Jack Davis also, that really created the try. And
Kick on.
it's,
Time's on
as I
now,
said,
please.
it's just capitalising on those opportunities when they do come.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what we saw earlier in the women's game as well. You capitalise on your opportunities, you get to score tries, and that's exactly what Worcester have done today.
Reece Tench has passed over the kicking duties to Tom Cubitt. I suspect that's after that little ankle injury he picked up about 5 minutes ago. And he's tried to go with the win there, but he's hooked that to the left, dropping short and wide.
Any change? About 2 minutes, just over 2. Okay, yeah, good to go.
So 2 minutes left on the clock, according to the referee.
Okay, when you're ready.
So Gloucester will look to get something out of this play.
You've made a change, I think. Okay, sorry, my fault.
And Dan Tyler will carry on. He gets up from the try line. There's a valiant effort in defence, but just not enough.
Yeah, Gloss with the final couple of minutes in this half will just look to really bounce back if they have time to. And that is not the start that they would have wanted to the final stages of the first half. Ball going straight out there.
Half-time can't come soon enough for these Gloucester boys. Worcester have been not necessarily the most dominant. I'd say territory-wise, Gloucester have been up there, but I think Worcester, it's just, especially at Varsity, it's all about taking your chances.
Well, it's sorry, Luke.
You won't get any more chances in this game.
Yeah, well, it's just definitely been a game of for Worcester, definitely take your chance when you've got them.
It's all backwards, play on.
They could be in again here.
And that is a try for Jack Daubeny in the corner. And that is exactly what Gloucester did not want.
Yeah,
that could be a vital score so early in this game.
Yeah, that half-time whistle really can't come soon enough.
30 seconds, just over. That'll be half-time. Take your time, I'll tell you when, okay? Yeah, so if you take just 30 seconds now, which you probably will, it'll be half-time.
So the last kick of the half from Tom Cubitt.
Do you want to restart?
I'm not sure they could have asked for a better half of rugby coming down to Plot Court.
Yeah, well, like you said earlier, it's been a very 50-50 game so far. Gloucester have actually been very good in certain areas, but unfortunately, Worcester, the ball's, a couple lucky bounces here and there, and that's what sport can be about sometimes. It just comes down to those fine margins, and right now they're on Worcester's side.
And that is a stray kick to the right, and referee sounds the half-time whistle. The score is Gloucestershire 3, Worcester 17. I think coming up we have a replay of Jack Daubeny's try. A great pass out wide and plenty of space to finish for the hooker in the corner. It'll have to be a big second half from these Gloucestershire boys if they are to get back into this game. 14-point deficit. They need the next score in this game if they are to get those 5 in a row.
worries. At least this way he knows not like.
Don't know that.
I'm signing the pledge to say thank you to the NHS and key workers for their hard work and dedication during this time. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to compete today, so thank you.
I signed the pledge because whilst Varsity is competitive and we want to win, it is also about welcoming people from all backgrounds, all shapes, sizes, religions, races and sexualities and genders to feel safe and feel welcome as part of Team Gloss and Team Walk.
I signed the pledge to ensure safe, competitive competition whilst taking a stand against all forms of discrimination. Sport is for everyone.
I'm signing the pledge to unite with Gloucester against racism and support equal opportunities for women in sport.
I'm signing the pledge to celebrate and accept everyone's differences and diversity.
We have signed the pledge to ensure that a friendly environment within the university is shown within the competition regardless of rivalries, differences and backgrounds.
The reason why I signed the Varsity pledge is to bring a sense of fulfilment back to the sporting athletes and to celebrate all members of Team Gloss.
I am signing the pledge to promote equality and diversity through sport.
I am signing this pledge to represent our university in a dignified and respectful way.
I signed this pledge because it's really important to get the boys back together playing again after the year that we've had.
I am signing the pledge to aid in generating a safe, competitive sporting environment, something the past year has made difficult.
We're signing this pledge because we believe everybody deserves to have an equal chance at Team Gloss.
I'm signing the pledge to show my support for all players, to ensure the game we love is inclusive, representative and respectful.
We signed the pledge because a lot of our team is third years, and to be given the opportunity to play one of the biggest matches and to get everyone back together is a privilege, especially as this year has been filled with uncertainty. With everything going on in the world at the moment, to be able to play in a safe environment, being inclusive to everyone is a great feeling.
We signed the pledge because we believe that everyone should be entitled to dance, no matter their age, race, shape, size or sexual orientation.
I'm signing the pledge to stand against racism, biphobia, homophobia and transphobia.
I'm signing the pledge to demonstrate respect to my fellow teammates and competitors and encourage everyone to be proud.
I signed the Varsity pledge as I believe that after the whole year of COVID, it is good to have some healthy competition, and it involves everybody regardless of your disability, race, sexual orientation and your size. Everybody is welcome at Team Gloss.
The pledge is a sign of respect for all those involved, regardless of background, culture, religion. We are all equal. Sport brings us all together and this is a great opportunity to show that.
I'm signing this pledge to be able to compete in this competition gracefully. Win or lose, we'll do it in a dignified and respectable manner.
I am signing the pledge because we wish to treat the competition fairly and to uphold the integrity of the sport. We are so lucky to be able to participate in Varsity this year, so treating it in this way is something as a club we believe is incredibly important.
I signed the pledge because it respects the individuality of all members throughout the tennis club, throughout the sports university, our opponents and everyone else in the university and across the whole spectrum.
Really happy and proud to be taking part in Varsity this year. I signed the pledge to make sure that Varsity is a fair and competitive series following the COVID guidelines and to make sure that everyone feels like a welcome member of Team Gloss.
I'm signing the pledge to make sure we all show respect to players and officials.
We vigorously stand against all forms of hate speech and discrimination, and we want Varsity to be a celebration of that. Everyone is welcome, and sport is for everyone.
You don't wanna play with dynamite that should have blown your world apart. Somewhere you can come, but please don't try. A single bus of bass straight through your heart. How you never see you're not ready. Blended see the sound so deadly. Seems they never knew the things we do, but we just not ready to rock. We drop a box and we down. Even man wild out, walk along, but go girl wild out. If you vex wild out, nobody pet pockets it wild out. If you act wild out, right or not, don't stop wild out. Go and get clean, make a scene wild out, and embarrass them, go and scream and shout, tell him. If you mad wild out, walk along, but go girl wild out. If you vex wild out, nobody pet pockets it wild out. If you act wild out, right or not, don't stop wild out. Go and get clean, make a scene wild out, and embarrass them, go and scream and shout, tell him.
And we are back. Worcester are back out on the field, raring to go after that first half 17-3 lead. Gloucester need a big second half if they are to salvage this game at all.
Yeah, it's going to be a big half from Gloucester. They need to put a big shift in, cut out a few mistakes that they're making. Hopefully they can get on the side of luck as well, which Worcester have slightly had in their hands. But yeah, I'm expecting a big performance from these Gloucestershire boys. We know they can do it.
Gloucester huddle with the words of Director of Rugby Chris Downs ringing in their ear. Worcester will kick us off from right to left.
Yeah, Gloucester need a big start here.
Fucking put a name on it now, lads! Yes, dude!
That's good take from George Sanderson.
Okay, that's outside.
Changes at the break. We have James Kingscott on, who has come on for Josh Aston, who looked in some discomfort at the end of that first half.
Yeah, well, I think something happened there at the end of the half off that final try. Josh Aston walking off limping, looked like an ankle injury. We'll try and confirm that for you. Really good shot there. Oh, that looked high from George Sanderson. Could be in trouble.
Easy.
I think it was just not quite to the head, but it was high.
14.
Yeah, replay coming in there, yeah.
I think he doesn't make any contact with his head, but it's just the way he's falling already, and then he gets hit again.
High tackle by 14.
Yeah, unfortunately in rugby there are so many mitigating factors. You know, you prepare for your tackle, and the player starts to fall down. It's so easy to mistime these things, but George Sanderson lucky to get away with one there, otherwise he could have really been in some serious trouble.
Same as the first half. Same as
Just
first
those
half
little
5,
bits of discipline that are going to be vital for Gloucester this half. Just need to keep it clean.
Yeah, we see once again there, very, very nearly shoulder to head. Unfortunately, in these days, that is a straight sending off, but good for George Sanderson, he's still on the pitch.
Great work at the breakdown from Will Clark there to turn over.
He's gone straight onto the ball.
Worcester looked really on the up there. They're making good progress through the Worcester 22.
Yeah, that's exactly what Gloucester needed. You know, those moments of turnover, the breakdown in your own 22 can really build momentum and lift spirits. So that's great work there from Will Clark on the floor.
Thank you.
Cameron Fogden clears it up to just behind the 10-metre line in the Gloucester half.
Happy, Harry.
That's very clever from Ben Webb there. Gave the dummy and then turned. No mauls for me. He's going to be doing that all the time from now.
Cameron Fogden with the high kick there hasn't really gone where he would have wanted, but George Sanderson doing really well there to recover the ball. A lucky escape for Gloucester, you could say.
It's your own player. It's your own player there. Okay, not needed.
And Billy Davies is chasing after that kick from Cam Fogden. And off goes the Welshman.
First time we've really been able to see Billy with ball in hand, such a wriggly, difficult player to get down.
Evan Davis there making a half break. And that's Dan Tyler charged down. Matt Mitchell sweeps up. Josh Putt looks to bring him down with the help of Will Clark.
Massive hits coming in there from Ewan Manley and Adam Turner, respectively.
Push him into that space.
I think one of the areas that Gloucester need to kind of take example from Worcester is the way Worcester are putting pressure on Joe Langbridge at 10. Gloucester don't seem to be putting as much pressure on Jack Davis, which is giving him a bit of time to pick his option, pick the pass, pick the kick just like then. And I think those first 3 steps, putting pressure on that 10, is what will force Worcester into errors and could bring Gloucester some success.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Gloucester have struggled to get ball in hand, sort of free-flowing, be able the backs to really be able to open themselves up.
Play on, he's loud. Leave his neck!
A ball turned over again by Worcester. Gloucester just not quite getting into the swing of things at the start of this second half.
And off goes big Phil Leader. George Sanderson looking to make hits, but he's come out the line. And it is a forward pass. That pressure has paid off for George Sanderson.
Happy with him. If you want to play on with him out, it's your player. It's your player. Happy? Play on. Okay, time off. Time's off. What's wrong with him? Focus off, guys.
And we can bring you some news from elsewhere at the football, where University of Gloucestershire have won on penalties. A lovely bit of drama there. and so I believe that may take the score to 4-all. That's dependent on what the result was in the women's hockey.
Come on. Forward pass. Hold in front, Worcester.
Dan Tyler under the ball, doing really well.
19, you've changed your line into him.
And that is the ill discipline that is not helping Gloucester at all.
Yeah, it was the kind of thing, it's really silly mistakes, kind of like that. You really don't need to be doing that with the score the way it is.
Post goal. 19, hold your line, don't come across.
Do you think that may come down to some of the inexperience within this side? Because for a number of this starting 15 for Gloucester, they are first years and they've never, or well, second years that have never experienced a varsity before.
Well, I think some of that could be coming into it, but honestly, I think it's just the way the game's going at the moment. You know, when you're losing in varsity, you know, things can get to your head and you just make silly mistakes like that. But I back the experience that they've all got previously to come out on top and do a job. They all know what they're doing.
Exactly, there we go. Yeah, sorry. I've got it, lads.
And the kick is put wide by Tom Cubitt. So that is a let-off for Gloucester.
Timings.
These missed kicks could come in absolutely vital late on, but that is not a good kick for Gloucester out on the full. Those silly errors need to be cut out soon if they are to do anything in the rest of this game.
Yeah, unfortunately that's a couple times that's happened. It's very easy to do, it's hard to judge those kicks, but when you're pushing for the touchline as much as Langsbridge was there, yeah, things you're taking the risk into your own hands. And unfortunately it's not paying off for Gloucestershire at the moment.
Let's go.
Worcester wasting absolutely no time in getting the ball forward.
He's first man, he's got the ball.
And that is a great turnover there from James Kingscott, I believe.
Can he be dealt with? Can he be dealt with?
And Lucas Town kicks ahead for Billy Davis to chase. This could be on for the Welshman. And he's done excellently, Lucas Town, to bring him down.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, he's gone down there off the tackle, Lucas Town holding his head. You'd like to think that he's okay. Well, he's getting back to his feet now. He looks like he's all right.
You've got to say that seems quite a harsh penalty considering he had a head injury. I thought that would have been stopped for maybe a free kick to Worcester.
Time's off, that's it. Okay. Yeah, the jackal was fine, but he's in the way. So first things come first, get him out of the way. Physio, happy with him? Right, you go. Can you be sub, please?
We have events finishing all over the place, so welcome to any viewers that have come from the football or the hockey. I can inform you that for those of you that don't know, women's hockey was a Gloucestershire win, so that makes it 5-4 overall to University of Gloucestershire.
Just a substitution for the University of Gloucester. Harry Royal at number 20 coming on for Ben Webb. Harry Royal making his debut in a University of Gloucester shirt. Debut at Varsity is not a bad way to start, is it?
No pressure.
Edge of the house. Let's go. Come on.
So far in this half, it has been all Worcester, really. No opportunity for Gloucester to really make or stake a claim in the Worcestershire half. So
no, it's been a fairly slow start for Gloucester, but there's still half an hour left. That's plenty of rugby, plenty of time, and there's no doubt that I'm sure their heads will lift and they'll get back into the game.
As we mentioned, those kicks will be crucial if missed, and yeah, they could come in key later on. And that's another penalty for Worcester.
I can't reward you if you're initially offside. You've got to hold.
Silly penalties given away offside this time by Gloucester. There's been some great work in the air by Phil Leader at the line out for Worcester. He's really ran it well, and they're really using it as a solid base to play off.
Time's off, I mean. With that one, he was offside. I tried to let him play through, but then obviously if you make the tackle, I have to do something about it. Okay? So just watch that trigger. It's nothing, it's just a timing issue. What's the problem here? Cramp? Have we got a sub ready? Sub? I mean, I could go down for cramp if we want.
Whilst we have a break in play, those of you that have just joined us,
ready?
Worcester went in at half-time 17-3 to the good after 3 first-half tries from Matt Mitchell, Paddy Smallman and Jack Daubeny. The only score from Gloucester was from the boot of Lucas Town from a 40-metre penalty. So there's plenty that has been left to do for Gloucester here.
There we go. Been a long day.
And Worcester will look to add to their tally with a kick at goal.
Yeah, well, definitely an interesting decision for them to kick to goal there. I would have thought, given the scoreline, they might go for touch, but clearly they've only got one thing on their mind, just to build the scoreboard, try and stretch this lead out as much as they can.
You're pointing there now, you're pointing that way. See, we get things wrong all the time. I got the sun again. Yeah.
And that's a great kick just inside the post by Tom Cubitt. First team regular from years gone by. And he's proving that that experience is coming in very handy for his side tonight.
Well, that's Adam Coles coming onto the field there for what looks like Joe Langbridge. So you would assume there that Coles moves into the centres and Cameron Fulton going to 10. We'll see how it plays out.
But it's certainly a bold move, but one that maybe needed to be made.
Okay, nice.
Joe Langbridge was getting targeted really by the Worcester defence, so move Cameron Fogden to 10, give him a bit more time on the ball, give him more opportunity to do stuff with it. Here he is on the ball, and here is what he can do. Noah Jenkins bundling on.
It's a fantastic offload from Fogden as well. Oh, the ref getting in the way there. That's something you really hate to see. That was a great inside line there from George Sanderson. Unfortunately, the referee getting in the way there.
That is what we have been waiting for from Cam Fogden, though. That was absolutely exceptional work to sweep up in the backfield and beat a number of players and give to Noah Jenkins, sorry.
Yeah, well, Noah Jenkins there handing off a couple of players, showing that size really doesn't matter. He's a powerful player despite his size.
Very unlucky there, but this is a good opportunity in the Gloucester half, which we haven't, in the Worcester half, sorry, that we haven't really seen so far this half.
Well, it's Jacob White there going down again. You have to wonder how many times he's going to go down before he gets taken off. We know he's a tough cookie and he'll carry on, but Callum River-Cole looked like he might be ready to come on the field.
One thing that has been implemented with the COVID rules from the RFU is rolling subs. So you would imagine that maybe it might be a wise idea to bring on a few set of fresh legs to keep it moving. Maybe a bit of inspiration coming off the bench might be needed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got Harry Royal and James Cole's coming onto the field, but so apart from that, we haven't really had much from the Gloucester bench. But it's definitely something, fresh legs with 25 minutes to go. That's definitely something you want to go. You're going to start seeing more of at the moment.
Off comes Worcester captain Kieran Hayes. Put a good shift in for his side. He'll be pleased with the current state of play. Gloucester look to go out the back. That is an intercept from Worcester, and this could be it. And that is the score for Rhys Tench, and that could be it for Worcester. That's what comes with Gloucester in dire need of a score, that they're going to try and force things. And that was always a possibility that there could just be a breakaway try, and unfortunately for Gloucester that has happened.
Yeah, well, we see there Gloss trying to play the ball through their hands, trying to go for the flat, wide pass, and unfortunately when you take that risk with one of those, there is always the chance that the ball will be intercepted, and unfortunately Gloss have conceded once again. Worcester continuing to build that score.
Big words there, caught on the microphones from the Worcester team saying keep going. They're not stopping at this. And here come the changes for Gloucester. Jack Greenway and Sam Rhymes coming on for Josh Putt and Dan Tyler.
Yeah, another debutant there, Sam Rhymes, coming in at 9 for Josh Putt. Actually thought Josh Putt put in a really good shift, but it'll be interesting to see the change now.
We'll see if Sam Rhymes can bring some pace to play. Josh brought quite a lot of control, but yeah, they need scores now. That is exactly what they want. That is the response that Chris Downs will have been looking for. A penalty off the kickoff and a great position. You feel this is do or die really for Gloucester here.
Yeah, and you see that Sam Rhymes looking to go quickly, but Ewan Manley, Cameron Fulton, just slightly more experienced players, just telling him to calm down, settle down, and get into their rhythm. That's hopefully off this line-out they can have some success, because they're going to need it with just 20 minutes left now.
About 10 metres out from the Worcester line. Noah Jenkins throwing in. And that is a great take. Good ball from Sam Rhymes. Oh, and it's another intercept. Really trying to force things here, Gloucester. Maybe just a bit of composure needed.
Take it back in. Hold in front.
And it's cleared downfield. This will be an opportunity for George Sanderson to take and have a go. He's kicking, and it's just one bounce into touch. That looked as if it was coming straight for us in the commentary box, and I was concerned that, yeah, straight out on the full potentially.
Yeah, well, it's a really good option from George Sanderson there, and then he's finally seeing one of his kicks paying off, which will be really encouraging for him. Yeah, a sketchy moment in the commentary box here. Thought the ball was coming straight this way.
Energy, let's go, energy!
Noise from Lucastown there in the back line, asking for energy from his side.
A really good work at the line out from Gloss.
Adam Turner getting in front of Phil Leader there. And Harry Royal is through! And Harry Royal will score!
It's a fantastic line from Harry Royal. A great work from Cameron Fulton to find, and the debutant Harry Royal coming off the bench, scoring for Gloss. What a result.
That's exactly what was needed. 20 minutes to go. 27 points to 8. Could they?
Absolutely they can. There's 20 minutes left. There's plenty of rugby left to play, Charlie. They are well in this. We saw in the women's game earlier, a couple of tries can get you back into the game, build some momentum, and that's exactly what Gloss will be hoping for here. Great try from Harry Royal. But on sadder news, it does look like Will Clark will be leaving the field. He's hopping off, holding, well, not holding, but what looks like an ankle injury. We hope all the best for him. A fantastic performance that he's put out today, especially in defence. It's been ferocious.
Yeah, absolutely great performance from Clarkey. He's played across all the teams throughout the year last year. Real great club member, and that's a shame to see him come off, but he's had an absolutely terrific performance, and yeah, I'm sure he'll be happy with his performance, and he's left his side on the up.
Yeah, but Will Gowdy coming onto the field now, he's another one similar to Harry Royal, very fast, very athletic. So look, he'll be looking to bring plenty of impact to the team.
So the score? He'll get out of the way next time.
And we just look at the break again there from Harry Royal, hitting it with some pace and some absolute wheels on the mullet boy.
Yeah, fantastic mullet that Harry Royal's got on his head, and that definitely adds a little bit of power, we know that.
I think it's streamlined him quite well.
Yeah, well, he's clearly used a bowl on the top of his head. Business at the front, party at the back. There's a magnificent sight. Touch of the Ellis Genge about Harry Royal. Small, stocky, baby rhino.
Okay, Sam, let's go. Timing, time on.
Now this will be a big 10-minute for Gloucester. Let's see if they can get another score. And Billy Davis has taken that cleanly. He's done well to keep himself in touch. And it's these areas that will become key for Gloucester. How they exit will be very important, and that looks like a good contestable kick from Sam Rhymes.
On off, go ahead.
That is Ewan Manley, who is down with a head knock, so there'll be a slight break in play.
Yeah, but he's gone down, both hands on his head, not looking positive for Ewan Manley, the captain, obviously a leader at the front. He's been an absolute shift today. He's been another one of those Gloss boys in defence. He's been absolutely ferocious. So you hope that he's okay.
Here is a replay of the big hit from Billy Davis, but also Ewan Manley in picture on the floor following a knock he picked up.
Well, you can feel the excitement around the ground. I mean, me and Charlie Hines both sit up in the commentary box now. Things are really picking up. It's hard to sit down.
Yeah, it's getting a bit twitchy, but we're in for a hell of a finish.
Yeah, just under. Your free kick, we would have started with a scrum, but obviously.
Off comes Ewan Manley, helped by club captain Tommy Jermin and vice captain Tristan.
Guys, use that blue and yellow line.
So free kick to Worcester, just inside the Gloucester half. Really important for Gloucester to defend strongly here, get up in the Worcester faces.
Hold 17-4. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
George Sanderson has done well to sweep up there and avoid the challenges.
Not now, 19. This player is in the layer. Good, thank you. Okay, start using. Timing's on the kick. No.
That's a good clearance from San Rhymes.
Yeah, really good clearance from Sam Rhymes there once again. Gloss seemed to have cut out the mistakes that they were making earlier.
Okay.
Really positive stuff from them later on in this second half.
Just relieves that little bit of pressure. And for Worcester, coming on is Adam Harper. Actually, sorry, it is Cameron Bond.
Okay, time on.
Let's see if Gloucester can disrupt this line-out hit now. No contest. You would think they might have to contest that. That is a huge hit from Cameron Fogden.
That's fantastic work from both Cameron Fogden and Harry Royal.
There's a potential for it to be on out wide there, but they didn't use it. It's advantage and penalty to Worcester. You would think that they are going to kick for goal here just to extend that lead.
Just slipped up around his neck. Thank you.
And they elect to kick for goal to add the 3.
20. Too much? On my fitness?
And it is over. That makes the score Worcester 30, Gloucester 10.
Yeah, 14 minutes to go here. 20 points to recover for Gloucester. It's a big ask, but we know they can do it. And the way the momentum of the game is swinging, it looks like a comeback could be on the cards.
3 tries. Anything with Harry Royal chasing down. And that's a knock on there.
Recovered well by Will Gowdy.
And Rhymes will look to play quickly. Here goes Foggy. And that is a
advantage.
Lost ball from Noah Jenkins there. Worcester will look to break out and clear.
Advantage over.
And that is a good kick in behind Billy Davies. Some space for the Welshman to run into though. See the tricky feet. That is a
hold kick of it.
That's a huge hit from Adam Coles, and the ball is spilt out.
Nothing there live. Okay, leave each other.
you just think that maybe they have to keep a bit of composure, maybe not go down the short side, maybe consider their options, try and build something a bit more?
Yeah, well, they might seem that they haven't got long left, but we know that in sport 10 minutes is a long time. Composure is what's needed here from Gloss.
You've got to think what must be going through the Worcester players' heads. They've not been in this position for quite a while. Will they know what to do? We'll see.
Well, if I was them in their position, intimidation is the first thing that I'd be going through my thought. You know, you met with that Gloss back line.
Worcester, thank you. Never on it.
And that is a very clumsy knock on there. Gloucester ball. Really need a score from this play if they are to stay in this game. Here's the big hit from Adam Coles.
It's exactly the kind of impact that we knew that Adam Coles could make.
Former Exeter Academy boy.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. The ball's there.
Harry Royal getting up in the Worcester faces.
20, out of the way. Yeah.
A little bit of invention there from Worcester, but it has paid off. They've regathered.
Okay,
but it's a knock-on. Good field position this for Gloucester, right in the centre of the pitch.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're going to go quickly. Sam Rhimes ready to tap that ball. Jardel Cooper on it now. Looking to make a big carry. Hasn't quite been able to go as far as he would have wanted.
Trying to be a bit too clever there, I think.
Yeah, Gloss once again giving away a penalty. Like you said, just trying to be a bit too clever with it is exactly what's not needed in these final 10 minutes.
Guys, time's off. Time's off. Yeah, time's off, bring them on. Number?
So here comes Zane Felix. Another member of that club that have played in all three teams. This is his first varsity. He may not look like your average prop, but I can guarantee you that he has all the power of some of the biggest out there.
Yeah, it hits like a steam train up in the receiving end of one of them in training once. Wasn't one of my finest moments.
You've not been back to training since then, have you?
Yeah. Hang my head in shame.
Just a free kick, yeah.
And that is just, you need to pick your moments. And that's a penalty to Gloucester. Joe Langridge almost taking out a very expensive bit of kit in the cameras, but I'm sure he would have received an invoice.
4, 5. 5. Yeah, holding on the extra roll. You need someone to throw it in.
So 30 minutes to play. Gloucester 10, Worcester 30. Overall varsity score is 4-all after victories on penalties for the men's football. 5-4, sorry, to Gloucester. So victory in the football with penalties and a women's hockey win. So congratulations to those two. Just giving away a few penalties here, Worcester. Pressure could be getting to them. And that has not quite reached touch from Joe Langbridge, but Billy Davis up in his face. Harry Roll doing his best to try and distract the ball, and he has.
Step back.
And that is a great ball from Cameron Fogden. Giorno Cooper gets it out of Jack Greenway. Scores in the corner. Gloucester have scored.
Yeah, it was a fantastic move from Gloss. Really great work from Cameron Fogden. Sorry about my co-partner having a bit of a moment there. Clearly got a fly in his mouth. But yeah, great work, Cameron Fogden. Brilliant offload to Jardel Cooper. Spreads the play, finds Jack Greenway. Dots down in the corner. Gloss back in it. 15 points separate the teams with 10 minutes to go.
This is a massive kick for Joe Langbridge. This is the thing with Varsity, it offers you drama like nothing else.
Yeah, you'd expect nothing else. Great response from Gloss. 2 tries towards the late stages of this half, exactly what they needed.
And unlucky there for Joe Langbridge, just pulls it to the right of the post.
We see this offload there from Jardel Cooper, and Jack Greenway's got the pace to beat the Worcester player and dot down in the corner. Sent a massive 10 minutes on the cards here for these Gloucestershire boys.
It's not bad enough.
Joe Langbridge takes it, puts it into touch.
There you go, Gloucester.
Gloucester can intercept this line or disrupt it in any way. They'll be able to work off that ball that they may get.
Let's go, quicken.
Worcester need to keep their heads now. Phil Leader has been a very, very good part of this team in the air. There's another penalty.
Got a roll. This one and this one have got a roll clear. I can't reward you, even though
silly
you're
penalties from Gloucester once again, not rolling at the ruck.
I feel that's somewhat harsh from the referee. They're not rolling, and Harry Royal clearly rolled away and indicated to the referee that he was away. He was getting meter by the time that the referee had called the ball.
He was almost in the houses retrieving the balls we lost earlier.
Exactly. I'm not really sure what the referee's penalising for there.
You can ask me every time. Okay. 10 minutes.
So a big pressure moment for Jack Davis here. And he has slotted it straight through the post. And you would assume that would be that now.
Well, 17-point gap, 8 minutes to go. That's 2 tries and a conversion.
Yeah, just. Good set. Back off Worcester.
Josh Sanson regathers the kick-off. Here goes Foggy. James Kingscott running hard, advantage to Gloucester.
Player was offside. Offside.
Bit of invention here.
A massive hit on Zane Felix there, disrupting the ball, but we will go back for the penalty advantage.
Tackle as well. 5 offside.
They're playing here, good job.
Final do, please, thank you.
Good job, connected.
5 offside.
Big hit from Nathan Fisher there on Zane Felix. He'll be feeling the force of that one in the morning.
We add another to the collection of balls that we've now lost today. I think we're up to a tally of 10.
Is that all our match balls on?
It's your time, Worcester. Gloucester, sorry.
So big line out here.
All backwards.
It's gone backwards. I think that decision has gone Gloucester's way. It looked not particularly straight, but I'm not sure they'll complain at this stage. And Harry Royal is looking to break through again. Ill discipline from Worcester again. Cameron Fogden takes it quickly. They are not 10 metres.
Penalty advantage.
They'll play again.
It's another penalty.
Unfortunately, Sam Rhymes cannot go quickly again. It's a yellow card.
You can have that one as well. You're never 10. 7.
And that is a yellow card for Evan Davies.
Yeah, referee again getting some chit chat for Evan Davies there, telling him, quite frankly, he's not going to stand for it.
And a big opportunity here for Gloucester. Will Gowdy.
How we come? Stay down.
Callum River Coles makes some meters.
Step.
Sam Rhymes will look to tidy that up somewhat. Jardel Cooper.
Hands and feet. Feet, hands and feet. Stay up. Gloucester up. Keep it in, George. Away we go.
Inches away now. Some strong defence from Worcester here on their own line. Callum River Coles just short. Zane Felix spinning. Sam Rhymes has the ball. Cameron Fogden, big whip pass. Jack Greenway, he looked like he was taken in the air there. Jardel Cooper running hard.
Stay this way, good work. It's a slow ball anyway.
Harry Royal hit back.
Out.
Joe Langbridge out wide, whips the pass. George Sanderson steps. Knocked on by Joe Langbridge.
Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately there, George Sanderson trying something a little off out of the back. A nice idea, but unfortunately it hasn't quite worked out. That seems to be how the day's gone for the University of Gloucestershire.
And that is an unbelievable kick to touch, just bouncing in over the head of Billy Davies.
It's your pen, yeah.
That relieves a lot of pressure that Gloucester have been mounting on for the last 5 minutes.
Happy there.
Some lovely aerial shots there with the Micey plot court. Adam Coles goes the direct route.
Okay.
And here's Joe Langbridge. He'll look to bring That is a great tackle there from Tom Cubitt.
First man. And a contest, good contest.
Stopped what could have been a vital break.
Good work. Good work. Don't come in there.
Here goes George Sanderson.
20.
That's a good little kick from Adam Coles, but Matt Mitchell is there to sweep it up at the back. And he kicks on. And James King's got penalised for a yellow card. That's exactly not what Gloucester needed there.
Yeah, a little bit of arse there from James King. I feel like the yellow card was a bit harsh.
Just venting his frustrations.
3 minutes.
3 minutes remaining according to the referee.
Penalty. Waiting for their play. You got a ball?
So it looks like it is all but certain that it will be University of Worcester's rugby varsity this year. So where do you think they've really excelled?
Well, I think, especially in the first half, they really took their opportunities. I know we spoke about that at the start of the second half. They took their opportunities, and quite frankly, the discipline in the second half, I think, has been the real difference between the two sides. Gloucester not really been able to gain any momentum, especially when they've shifted the ball out wide. It's been very static. But all credit to Worcester, you know, in defence, they've been fantastic. So they're probably working away deserved winners.
Also at the line-out.
Painful to say, but
I think Phil Lead has been phenomenal at the line-out. They've really built off that base that they've given themselves, and I think, you know, if there was a man of the match, I would. There he is again.
Yep.
He's been a reliable source for Worcester today. Swinged wide to Reese Edwards. Another advantage for Worcester.
Penalty advantage. Captain, Billy. I know we're getting tired. Okay. Hang on. When are you supposed to be off? For the trip. Here you are. Huh? Sure? Oh, maybe. Never mind. Okay.
The referee just trying to send off as many people as he can now.
I think Foggy took that as a bit of a personal insult being compared to James King Scott there. Didn't like that.
I think the bleach blonde haircut might give it away. But
I would have thought that make him stand out more than anything. King Scott's got a shaved head.
Step off the yellow and you'll be good, okay? How many numbers? 5? Thank you.
So 2 minutes remaining till Worcester will be able to celebrate what has been a clinical performance, really, and they've really taken their chances when they've come, where Gloucester maybe have not been as clinical, and they've created some good opportunities, but at the end of the day, in a varsity situation, you've got to take your chances, and that is just where they've been a lot better than Gloucester today.
Yeah, absolutely. Gloss, full credit to the side. They've created, like you said, but there's been very little end product.
And there could be a finishing touch to proceedings here for Worcester as they venture deeper into the Gloucester 22.
Thank you, 16. Thank you. Good work. Tackle, release.
Nathan Fisher crashes the ball up. Here goes Tom Cubitt. Ball, and that's a great wide pass to Dan Andrew Liakos for a great score, and that will be that. Great scenes for Worcester there.
It's great work from Worcester again, just doing what they've done all game. That long pass hasn't worked for Gloucester on some occasions, but on this occasion it's worked for Worcester, and they go for their fourth and final score.
And unfortunately for Gloucester's sake, you've got to say that Worcester have probably been worth every bit of that scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, time's now dead. Time's dead.
This will be the last kick of the match. And Worcester can celebrate. That is the first time they have beaten Gloucester in 5 years. And an emphatic performance. Final score is 40 points to 15.
Yeah, we've got to say on the day, Worcester probably the better of the two sides, and they come out deserving winners. No 5 in a row for Gloucester, but we know that they'll be back at it again next year, and hopefully with a victory. But yeah, all credit to Worcester, they were good today, and yeah, they come out deserving winners.
I think that experience that Worcester had from past varsities really came to fruition today. I think Gloucester obviously had quite a few first years, few boys that were playing their first varsity, and I think they hadn't quite played together as a team before, and I think that's maybe where they've fallen short in those moments where they really needed to be clinical. And fair play to both teams. They've really put in a big shift. You can't discredit their effort. They've all left it out there online, much like the women did earlier. But yeah, on the day, Worcester were just far better, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, it's a nice touch from Gloucester now, doing a little tunnel. Just congratulating Worcester on their victory.
See the feeling of disappointment amongst all the Gloucester players all over their faces. But that's the beauty of varsity. They'll come back. They've got an opportunity next year to build as a team. And Worcester will enjoy their celebrations in the middle of the pitch. They look like they're going for some sort of socially distanced arrangement, fitting with the times, but
Gloucester gather together.
and it will be a joyous trip back down the M5 for them. Fully deserved. And by the sounds of it, they are going to have a disco. So it's 5-5 now in Varsity overall. And a very even contest, and that's exactly what we want from Varsity. And that is all we've got time for now. Thank you very much for joining us for our coverage of the women's rugby and men's rugby. We've seen some fantastic play today, and Gloucester women coming out on top in the first game, 49 points to 31, and the men 40 points to 15 for Worcester. So fully deserved. Thank you very much for joining. That leaves the score at 5-5 overall for Varsity. Thank you and well done to everyone involved, and well played to everyone involved. Thank you very much. Goodbye.